Good morning, good morning. You are now tuned into another episode of It's Too Early for All That. I am your humble host, Jordan Baylor, filmmaker, animator, and your guide to everything under the sun. I've got my coffee in hand. It's got a little rum in it. Excitement in my heart, and I'm ready to kick off the day with my good friend, Fulton, who's got some fresh, hot takes. How are you doing today, my good friend?
Fine. This is water.
Let's jump right into it. So, Pharma Bro CEO Martin Shkreli must surrender his Wu-Tang Clan albums. So, if you didn't know, at the height of his fame, he got the Wu-Tang Clan Once Upon a Time and Shaolin album, and he was trolling people by listening to it on lives. This is like back in the early YouTube days. And just smoking cigars, talking about how great it is to be able to listen to a masterpiece album and not have to share the songs or lyrics with anybody. And now the prick has to give the album back. So hopefully we can listen to the Wu-Tang Clan Shaolin albums. What is your take on this?
Fantastic. It's a win for all. It's a win for us all. It's a win for the children because Wu-Tang is for the children.
Facts. Bong bong.
And yeah, I can't wait to see this dude on a live stream complaining about it and trying to flip it into how this isn't as big of a loss for him as it might be.
I feel like this one is earth shattering, but I will say he does get lucky sometimes because remember when Lil Wayne's, I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was the Carter 4 or the Carter 3. One of them leaked right before it came out, and then he had to like redo the album. I don't know if you're like a big Lil Wayne fan. I sort of remember that. Yeah, he had to like redo the entire album because the whole album just like leaked out of nowhere. Turns out it was actually Martin Shkreli who leaked it. It was him. He had bought a Bugatti from Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne had left the old album in the car, and Martin Shkreli got on the dark web and sold copies, and that's why it leaked.
So, that's true?
That's true. That's a true story. He bragged about it. Can't make this shit up, man.
He can leak that one, but he can't leak the Wu-Tang. I mean, I guess not leaking the Wu-Tang album makes sense since he paid so much for it.
Yeah. It was actually kind of funny. I felt like if I ever got uber rich, I would do the same thing. Be like, I have this special album that only is good for my rich ears.
Right.
But I'm not.
I would do that to troll, but then get tired of it. I'd get tired of doing that after a week and then just drop it online.
Or just like say like hot bars and be like, and then you haven't heard it. You don't have you don't have access. You wouldn't know about this, and it'd be like, kind of like how Jizza said, I'm sorry, I don't know, man. I think it would get kind of old though.
I just thought of just like, I don't know if I could say it. I don't know because I don't know how you edit these.
All right, just say it.
No, I'd just be like on streams and shit like that, doing exactly what you're saying, just saying random bars, going, "Oh shit, that's rich nigga shit. You wouldn't know shit about that. That's
you wouldn't know nothing about this, boy.
That's exclusive right there. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. That's from that Tang album.
You wouldn't know nothing. You sound like Tracy from Atlanta. Some rich nigga shit. You don't know nothing about that, boy.
I think that's what I got. That's what I was thinking about.
I love that, man.
The streeper with the mill. Yo, it's rich nigga shit. You don't understand nothing about that. Just give him the statement.
Yeah. I gave you extra fries. I thought I told you they want no fries. Damn, dope boy, just throw them away. Oh my god!
I might watch that again. I won't. No, I'll watch that again. I'll watch the first season again.
It's worth a rewatch for sure.
Oh yeah, that one episode with that weird dude that's trying to go viral. I forgot it. Zan. What was his name?
Oh my god, he's so weird, bro.
That episode was great. The cold. I think it was a cold open. The cold open that episode with him was amazing.
It definitely shows you how weird those people are, though.
Yeah, you just anytime you're out, everyone's run into a dude just like that, just standing outside of somewhere.
So Comedy Central has set a September 25th premiere date for Everybody Still Hates Chris, an animated series based on Everybody Hates Chris. It's going to air on Comedy Central, which is a weird place to air.
Do you have a teaser or anything?
Are you excited? Are you excited for this animated series?
No. Do they have a teaser or anything for that yet?
Nah, bro. Just a photo.
Oh, okay, because I remember reading something about that, but I thought it was gonna be some like reimagining or a reboot or something. I thought it was gonna be live action.
Nah, it's probably what they wanted to do, but everybody's older, so
Yeah, that's why I was confused when I saw I saw a photo of them together. Aren't they gonna have like
yeah.
new people in or something like that? Like they're gonna have
Uh,
like some of the original cast. I think like Tashina Arnold and Terry Crews are still gonna be there. Or no.
yeah, they're still the parents.
Okay, and then man, I forgot his name.
I
The
don't
dude
know
that
if
was
he's
Chris.
playing the son again. Yeah, I don't know. It
Like
doesn't
I'm wondering
seem
if he's
like
gonna
it.
do that or if he's busy with Abbott Element, too
Nah,
busy with Abbott
somebody
Element.
named Tim Johnson Jr. is playing the young Chris because it's a
Okay,
child.
I just remember I saw like a weird picture of the cast. I thought it was gonna be just something I didn't know it was animated. This was gonna be an animated
Mhm.
series until just now.
Oh, yes, it's animated. I don't know. Personally, my take on it, I feel like the Everybody Hates Chris. If you can still sell idea, if you can still draw blood from that rock, go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think the idea is dead. I don't, but if you can make, I mean, I think they do get a lot of views though from reruns.
Oh, for
So I
sure.
think yeah, I think this will be a big hit for the next generation.
Yeah, it's a comfort show. But
As far as me watching it, I won't be. Maybe my little brother will because he really loved that show. Like huge fan of that show, but nah, it's not for me. I think it's a little dated,
for
personally.
me, I think I get into it after because for stuff like that, for me, it's usually I'll catch it somewhere or like some or I'll see some clip, and then if it's actually funny, then I go,
Hmm.
oh, okay, so this is worth giving a shit about, and then I check it out then. But for the most part, I'm not waiting with bated breath
Got you.
for the animated series.
Because again, it's not Japanese. You see black people, you get turned off. You see Japanese people, you go, oh, senpai. That's you. That's you. Okay, I got it. I see you, brother.
Senpai, did your
I
wife
see
just
you,
teach you
brother.
that one?
No, I saw a cringe white guy, and that was one of the things he said, and I just remembered it.
For
Oh,
forever.
senpai.
I'm guessing he had a body pillow under his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Yeah.
No, but I love I've been waiting for another I know you're fucking with me. But I've been waiting
Okay.
for another good animated series, but one that's more original, not something that's coming off like an existing IP, but even if it does, that's fine with me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
As long as
This is
it's
what it
funny.
is with animation. I just kind of want anything at this point.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
You know
It's
what I started
dry. Post Malone, new album, F1 Trillion, revs in number one at the Billboard 200, right?
Is
And
it
this
still
is his
country?
first, hold on, this is his first country album to hit number one on the Billboard charts.
Mm.
What are your thoughts? Do you think that this was the game plan from White Iverson? Do you
Maybe.
think black people are that gullible? Do you think that he was a culture vulture the entire time? Because he can't even really say that. I didn't even know old boy dropped an album.
I didn't either
And
until right now.
exactly. Because it ain't for us.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't for us.
I haven't listened to him since
Huh?
826, I think.
I listened to him on Hollywood's Bleeding. I listened to his last album. The the one Austin. I listened to that joint. It's a good album.
Isn't that his name?
Yeah, it's more of a country vibe, but it's got some good songs on there. But do you think this was the game plan the entire time? Do you think what is your thoughts on white people culture vultures in black spaces?
Those are two different. I feel like it's. I'll just speak on the whole Post Malone thing. I'll be honest. I don't think he did. I think he was just some dude that wanted to make music, and he happened to start doing it through. I don't know what you would call. Was it considered rap, R&B, whatever he was doing? What was it? What was
You're
that
trying to say
considered?
that wasn't rap? You're trying to say that wasn't rap?
No, that's what I'm asking. Like, what did you consider it? Because it's like melodic rap.
It was rap music.
Okay, okay. No, that's what I said. Did you consider it more rap or R&B?
It was rap.
Okay, rap. Okay, so No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Because now
He was copying what artists were doing that day, that era. He was copying what other artists were doing.
no, exactly. Because now rap is more mixed with R&B, thanks to L.A. Reid. Um, but shout out to Joe Budden. He was right about everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if anything, you know what? I'm in between because now my thoughts are coming. Now that you asked me that, I think he was honestly just making music that he wanted to make. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that rap is seen as such an accessible form of, just an accessible form, entryway into the music business. Like you can easily make some rap song and then get on, like be viral in the space with a rap song. Whereas with country music, I don't think that's the same case unless you're singing about, some weird MAGA stuff or like some like on the line, like like the whole song, even though that I don't he said that it wasn't right wing related or whatever, like the whole like that small town song, and then the dude with the guitar.
I think you think very lowly of country music if those are like your two examples of what you
I don't
think
think
country
lowly of
music
country
is.
music. I don't think of it at all.
Yeah, I don't think you know much about it.
I
For you
don't
to
at
think
all.
those two songs that which were like super racist, that is not indicative of country music at
No,
all,
that's not what
bro.
I'm saying at all. I'm
Country
saying
music is definitely like I'll tell
no.
you the
You're
space in which country music is
you're
in.
missing
No,
the
no, no. I'll
point.
just not to cut you off,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'll tell you the space in which country music is in. Country music is very much in the space of where like rap was in like 2017, where everything was like auto tuned with like really gummy hooks, and like people that are really into country don't like it. They don't like it. They like the more bluegrass, like working class type thing, but it's feeling more radio.
Cool, but I mean, okay, so what I was getting at was like virality, how you get
Mhm.
seen on social media.
Mhm.
Rap has more you doing a rap song has more of a chance of you becoming known than some country song. What you just said about country, I know that just because of TikTok. Like I've seen that with like the whole auto tune thing and like how it sounds now. But I wouldn't say I would disagree because again, I'm not in the country at all. Like I've only
Mhm.
seen what rises to the top or what people talk about, which happens to be stuff like that, or the YouTube bluegrass soundy stuff where it was like the that's why I don't want to call it racist, but like the those you could take them whatever way undertoned songs like that one, like this small town song, and then the other song that guy did.
Okay.
Well, what do you disagree with about that? Like, what do you mean?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just thinking that's the only time that you've heard of country was
Well,
racism jumped out.
that's not the only time though, because I've also heard
Mhm.
the stuff that they don't like, where like the Shabuzi, because like I don't know if they don't like these people because they're black or what, but like him or that one chick, I think her name's Tan or something. She has the Buckle Bunny
Mhm.
song.
Oh, yeah, I like that song.
I do too, but that's what I've
But
heard.
isn't she black? Isn't she black?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. They gatekeep. I mean, we all know this. I mean, we're just
no,
saying the loud
exactly.
part out loud.
But
We're
it's
saying the quiet part out loud. But
but I'm saying
that's my
that's all I
point.
know about it. I don't
Yeah.
live in the
Okay.
country.
Well. Okay. Well, that's my point. My point is that country music is gate kept so well to where you can even have great black artists and they still can't get a crack in the country music, and they're literally pushed out just because of the color of their skin. It's 2024, 25, whatever, and they still make better music than the white boys, but like they can't get a wave because it's gate kept so hard.
But that's
And that's what
also
I think rap needs to do. Rap needs to gatekeep because like this is another example of someone coming in to hip hop space, getting famous, using clout, everything to get rich, and then just dumping it when they're done. Just dumping it. Like,
that's what I was saying. That
I
was
mean, we saw
my.
this with
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, we saw this with Miley Cyrus and the Bangers album. We've seen this with countless countless white artists. It's the Elvis playbook, man. So it's just repeating in plain sight. sing some jive music, steal some jive music from some black artists, repackage it to white people, get famous, get rich, almost OD, get out of rehab, and then go to sing country or whatever it is that you do. But the same is not afforded to black artists. And there's one thing I have to say, even though some might call him cringe, some might call him this, some might call him that, Eminem is still in the culture. Eminem is still dropping rap albums. Eminem is still showing up, trying to put out the best music possible, working with young artists that are rappers, signing artists that are rappers, trying to grow the culture. So he's not a culture vulture to me. I don't consider Eminem a culture vulture at
No,
all.
I
I feel
wouldn't
like he's
consider
a
him music.
person.
I just
Yeah,
really don't like his fan base, his white fan base. I should be more specific.
yeah. Even he calls it out, but I'm just
No,
saying
I
he's
know.
not
That's
no
why I
Post
like him.
Malone.
That's why I
And I,
hate that I have to
yeah,
like say that about one side of his
yeah.
fan base because like that's not at all indicative of him. Because he's vocally like outspoken about how much he doesn't like the shit that they do or what they try to like stand for or what they try to use his music
Mm-hmm. To
to.
represent.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I like Post Malone, but I think that's pretty. That really hurt. That hurts. I don't know.
But
I'm
that was
taking it
yeah.
like that as a black fan. Yeah, I'm hurt.
But
So
that's what that was like more to my point what you were saying in there of I don't think there was anything malicious, but I don't even know if he wanted to do country music at first. I think he just had an interest in it, and I think he
he
had
always had
some.
interest in.
Yeah,
Shut
exactly. I think,
up.
but when he did the like White Iverson and around that era, like the A26, I think there was something else, like another mixtape that he did that was that had a similar sound to that. I think he was just making music for real. Like I don't think he was thinking about anything. And then as soon as his name got out there, he was like, maybe now I can do country, but even that, like I think it was just I don't know. But then that would go
It's
into the
culture
whole
vulture, man.
culture
It's culture vulture,
culture
man.
vulture.
Yeah, it was
Sorry.
culture vulture. It was culture vulture the entire time. The entire playbook was culture vulture.
Right. I don't know because like in my mind he just seems more simple than that. Not in a bad way, just more of I want to make music.
He seems more down to earth. He seems
Yeah.
very down to earth.
So that's why
Seems
I
very
don't think
nice.
there was any like malicious intent behind it, but it just maybe worked out that way. Because when he would talk about why his inspiration for White Iverson, I think he was just like I just wanted to make that song. Then that got
I mean, you
on.
keep referring to his first song. I mean, he dropped like 4 albums since then, bro.
No, exactly. No, but I'm talking about like the genesis of of all this. That's how I have
Mm-hmm.
to get to the whole cultural. Why can't I speak today? Culture vulture thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, because like in my mind, it just comes down to like was there malicious intent or not?
You're a judge and shit. Like I ain't know. I'm judge, jury, and executioner.
There you go.
I'm Judge Dredd. I'm
Yeah,
Judge Dredd. I don't need all that fucking evidence you talking about. My eyes tell me everything I need to see.
no, that's fine. I'm just this is me just trying to figure it out. You pose a question to me like in real time. This is
You're
just
right.
me
You're
trying
right.
to
I
figure
gave
it
you a
out in real
topic and
time.
you try to give me a valid answer. I ain't with that.
But I mean,
Man, I'm out
overall,
of topic, bro.
yeah, I think.
I'm,
But I was
huh?
to answer your question overall. Yeah, I think that's the way it worked out.
It worked out. He's a culture vulture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
All right, man. Hit me with your topics.
the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake was being previewed yesterday. It's called Metal Gear Solid Delta, and there was some discourse around it based on whether so it's a remake. All the assets are redone and everything like that. But design wise, it's still the same as the original PS2 game where all the areas are segmented. It's not like a big open world, I guess like some people were expecting. Sort of like the way it was in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay, I don't remember Metal Gear Solid 5, but I played it.
Metal Gear Solid 5, it had two huge maps where where a bunch of missions would take place in certain areas of the map, but it was all
Mm-hmm.
continuous. Whereas
Oh,
traditional
okay.
Yeah, whereas traditional Metal Gear Solid games where you would move from one area to another. They were all segmented.
So people are mad about this?
Well, no, some are, some aren't because we're still in that weird thing of what is a remake. Not really what is a remake because a remake and a remaster are two separate things. But this is pretty much design wise, you're playing it the same way, segmented areas, but it's just with updated visuals. But even updated visuals sounds weird because all the assets are redone from the ground up. The environments are all new in 4K and stuff like that. Same thing with the character model. It's a different character model. It's not updated from the original one from the PS2 and stuff like that. This is all high quality stuff. You know, and some changes here and there with the UI and just how certain things work gameplay wise. And so I saw some people were upset based on, so there were two previews that stood out. The way that IGN reviewed the preview and the way that GameSpot did. Dan Reichert did the GameSpot preview, and you know, he's been into Metal Gear Solid as long as anyone around our age. I think he's also he's like from a generation before us, but he's played through all the games just like we did when they were coming out, and he's fine with it being what it was, just updated, because that's what anyone who would want a Metal Gear Solid game would actually want. Newer gamers, I think. And then the IGN preview was more. I can't remember. I wish I would have looked into who did that preview, but they were more, I guess, disappointed that the remake was faithful to the original. They said faithful to the original to a fault, whereas it feels more like a remaster with, you know, well, just, yeah, it feels more like a remaster, like it with like crazy updated visuals, because it's gonna play the same, but I think they were expecting more of Metal Gear Solid, you know, the trappings of Metal Gear Solid 5, or how should I phrase it? They were expecting Metal Gear Solid 3 with Metal Gear Solid 5 trappings. Whereas a huge, like the forest, the jungle is one big open map that you're just traversing through from like mission to mission or plot point to plot point. You know, no segmented areas in between, because it doesn't feel right to call them loading screens anymore, because they're not really, like, there's not really loading this generation with this generation of consoles. Everything just goes quick like that. But yeah, they were expecting like a bigger map. They were expecting something different. So it was making me think about not only the difference between remakes and remasters, but the difference between what you would consider a remake and a reimagining, like Final Fantasy VII. When you play Final Fantasy VII Remake, you come to realize that remake is more of a subtitle and not, you know, a technical term for what it is. Because Final Fantasy VII remake has different things from the original Final Fantasy VII. Like there are slight differences in events that happen, how the story's told, stuff like that. To the point where some of the original fans of Final Fantasy VII are upset about remake. Like some of them wanted it to just be that same game again with 4K assets, like with updated visuals and all that stuff. Whereas I would disagree with that, because I really like Remake and Rebirth and what they're doing with it, because it's sort of more of a sequel series than a remake. But it's still sort of a remake because you're going through the same plot points again. So I feel like this whole, like with the way that Delta's coming out, it's going to start like a whole new conversation of what do we call remakes and what do we call reimaginings. And I'm down for either. I'm down for whatever serves the game, because I think Delta, being the remake that it is, serves that game. It doesn't have to be, you know, a huge open continuous map. But with Final Fantasy VII Remake, I like that being more of remake in the form of a reimagining, because Final Fantasy has never really been one thing at one time. Every single iteration is always different. And the only reason that they were turn-based to begin with was because that was all they could afford at the time. They couldn't make it. They like I think not Itsuno, Sakaguchi said from the beginning he wanted more action in Final Fantasy, but you know, they were like a smaller company. They didn't have the budget to make a game like that, so they just, you know, they went with the traditional.
Did what they could.
Yeah, they did what they could with what they had.
It's made a pretty great game, though.
Yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed all of them. That's why I like the Final Fantasy franchise, because there's really no definitive
Best one.
Which one was best?
Well, no, there's no definitive best one.
Oh
It's
no,
whichever one
exactly.
you
Yeah,
connect with.
because people all
Yeah.
disagree with like everyone has a different favorite.
No. Yeah. My favorite one is 8. That's because
Same.
that's the one I got to play. That's the one I got to play. I didn't get to play 7. I watched my brother play it. So
Yeah,
I never got to touch the joystick. So people's relationship with it is a little bit different. Like,
which is
so
crazy because like
we're
according like
reimaginings. I like that.
yeah.
I like your opinion on it. I agree with that.
Okay, cool. And then
I agree.
but yeah, I mean, I guess what would you think about it? Like when it comes to like remakes or reimaginings, would it even?
I think for like Metal Gear Solid, I would kind of like it to feel like the original. I wouldn't like it if it was open source world and it felt like a totally different game. I like that like PS2 thing, like
Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, okay, cool, yeah. I like the little loading thing when you go in between. Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Um, and it's something that I would have remembered if I played it. But like, if you told me the detail about it before you gave me the game, I wouldn't care either way. I'm just glad that I get to play Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. That's like my favorite video game of all time. So I'm glad I just get to play it any kind of way. So I'm not on the fence. I'm not one of those people that are just like, I don't know. You can't please everybody. It's kind of
yeah,
like a high end meal. That's what these games are. They're high end meals, and people have refined palates. And that's what it is. You just got a bunch of food critics that are that don't know how to bake a hot pie. So that's what all this noise is. These fake ass food critics. Everybody thinks they're Anthony Bourdain. And they wouldn't know good food from Waffle House. So but that's where we are as a that's where we are. People are lost in the sauce.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but I agree with your point. Everything you said was spot on.
I was gonna say I also agree with what you were just saying. Yeah, it just
Oh,
feels like
okay, yeah.
it's
People
social
people
media.
people don't know.
It opened up everyone to just voice their opinions, but I don't think we need that anymore. I mean that we need to start putting a cap on that.
This man said, "I want censorship. Bring
Dude,
it
I think
back."
that's where you know what? I honestly think that that's where it's going to start going. I think some of these channels, like the bigger that they get on YouTube and stuff like that, I think they're
Mm-hmm.
just going to start uploading videos and just start turning off comments. Because why? Why have
Yeah,
them? If it's just a
so
pool of
people can argue.
negativity,
Engagement. Yeah.
engagement, but it's like when it's just crap. It's like a pool. Like what? That's all IGN. The IGN comment section, no matter what you look at, it's just
Uh-huh.
people being negative all the time, and then talking about how they would rather be looking at. They put journalists in quotes and all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, you're still here.
In the words of a man I saw have a crash out on Instagram after the guy told him have a good day, he said, "Fuck that. Have a bad day.
That's where
I
I'm
want
at.
all that negative energy." So I think yeah, I think it comes when it comes to their negativity. I think that's where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been another episode of It's Too Early for All That. Hit the like, subscribe button, and share it with a friend who likes to be up early and argue about anime, games, or movies. So I'm your host, Jordan Fulton. Peace.
Yeah.